Hi everybody, it's Dave from Wing Chun Mind Force. Just a short bus vid about something I've been meaning to show you for a while. I've talked in my channel over the years about balance, and I've done quite a number of videos about balancing, like balancing on a piece of timber like a fence, balancing a broom on your hand, focusing on the top of the thing, not looking at the hand or the middle of the stick, looking at the top, focusing your mind, locking your mind on. That's what the last two bus talks I've talked about Susanna Ho's writing about focused intention, and that's what that is, to focus your mind on the broomstick. When I've walked on, it wasn't a fence, but it was like a low garden edge, took quite a bit of balance to do. I was focusing ahead, maybe a couple of meters ahead, and just keeping my mind there and letting my body do the balancing. And I mentioned that when you start consciously trying to control the balancing, it just doesn't work generally. Like if the broomstick, you start chasing the thing everywhere, trying to think, what do I do? And it's just really, really, really hard. But if you can just let go and put your mind on that point and relax, feng sung, your body naturally does it. And I believe that is Nim Lik. It's Nim Tau. It's the Nim Tau mind that we use to get that power from the Nim that takes over your body, that does the balancing, that has this control that's beyond what you can consciously do. Now, some people have a trouble understanding why I would be talking about balancing when we're a fighting art, but when you think about it, balance is really part of the essence of any martial art, and it certainly is of this martial art. But what I'm really getting at is that mind, that feeling. Once you get there, once you can switch that on and get to know you can trust it, then you can relax. And we use this same mind in Chi Sao. When you Chi Sao properly, you're not constantly looking for opportunities to do a technique. You're aiming to forget everything, to get back in your body, into that mind space, and let your arms do the work, and let your arms find the gaps, let your arms and your body protect you, and also find your way through and feel that. Like once I had a guy, we were rolling and he kept on putting heaps on me, heaps of pressure, and he seemed to be doing it quite well, using relaxed force. And he considered that he was all over me. And I said, listen, I'm just flat rolling with you, okay? I'm just absorbing you, I'm just using it as a practice. But if I wanted to, doesn't matter what you do, you try to stop me. And he would try to stop me, and then I just relaxed and just kept him, squashing him and closing him down. And he was a bit shocked about it because he sort of thought I couldn't do that, I think. But he didn't understand that when I was rolling, what I was aiming for is how to let my subconscious do it rather than me consciously think I'll just relax and crush him. So anyway, I'll show you this practice, and it's basically taking off your boots and socks and putting them back on again. Now, full disclosure, I got this idea from Bruce Lee back when I first got the passion for Bruce Lee and Kung Fu in 1975. I avidly read everything I could find. There was always magazines and books coming out about Bruce and about Kung Fu. I used to watch his movies, go to the drive-in, go to the theatre. Every chance I got, I'd go and see a Bruce Lee movie. This is before video, before VHS and all that, way before that, 10 years before that. And one of the books I had just had this tip in there that Bruce always said, when you put your shoes on every day, stand on one leg and do it. He said, this is very good for your balance, which actually it is. And when I was a young Taekwondo, kickboxer, Jeet Kune Do sort of guy, my balance got very good, and I could stand on one leg and kick, and then kick there and kick there and kick behind and not overbalance. So that really helped me, but I didn't quite click that I was also using a different type of mind, which is sort of the balancing mind, but it's also the mind that, it's the Nim Tau, it's the mind of the body, it's this extra intelligence that is sort of innate, and it's subconscious, superconscious, unconscious, whatever you want to call it. So I'll just show you how I do it. I won't talk because talking tends to make a wobble go through your mind. By the way, I think it's always nice socially to talk when you're rolling with people, but it's actually better to shut up and just become non-verbal and really help each other get into that state. So I just have to come back a bit. So standing here, now lift up. Now I'm going to shut up, but I consciously go to the rear of my brain there. So there you go, I got through it. Now, I really noticed there what I always notice. If you've tried this, you'll notice that somebody made a bit of a sound over there, and an odd bird started squawking, or I started thinking, oh, the guys are watching me on camera, better not fall over. Those thoughts, that's the conscious mind getting involved. So as soon as the conscious mind comes in with something, you tend to wobble because you lose the Nim Tau a bit. So that's why this is a great practice. If you do this every day, I mean, the reason I think Bruce came up with this and why I'm using it is because it's an everyday thing. We often say, oh, I haven't got time to practice that or whatever, but putting on your shoes, everyone does it every day. Taking off your shoes, everyone does it. So at least once or twice a day, you focus on this. And if you do this, if you really try this, at first you might find it very difficult, surprisingly difficult, but you'll start to feel a sense of presence, a sense of location, more in the rear of your head, which is where sort of like the control center for Nim Tau. I personally think this mind is through the whole body, like the skin, the muscles, the sinews, the fascia, the bones, even the organs. It's all got a sort of a consciousness, and that's the point of this, is to learn about this mind that we don't always use in modern life. If you're in the wild, or if you're somebody who does a lot of action sports and things, you probably have much more of a feel for this than the average person. I used to surf heaps, and surfing, you're in the Nim Tau a lot. You sort of, everything's happening so fast, the waves constantly changing. You can't really plan out what you're doing like you do with, say, skateboarding or snow skiing, because the wave's always changing, and it changes during the day, and it changes with the tide and wind and all sorts of things. And even another surfer taking off, sort of dropping in on you, can change the wave and make it collapse on you or whatever. So some people will be better at this than others to start off with, but this is a great thing. And if you'll just trust me and listen to me, and maybe go and have a look at some of my other balancing videos, you might get an aha moment, go, oh, I see what Dave's trying to get at here. Because this state of mind, I can just switch it on. And I actually do use it in art. But when it comes to Wing Chun, which is what we're concerned about, you go into that mind, you see I was sort of wobbling a bit out there, but actually that was my Nim Tau working to bring me back into control, because a thought went through my head, I started to wobble, then I got back into the Nim Tau, and the Nim Tau went, bring the thing back, and you saw me get really still again. So it's an exercise. Hope that makes sense. See you later, everybody. Next video, a bit more of wisdom from Sifu Susanna from her notes. Okay, bye-bye.